So just so that everyone's up to speed, what identification means in the context of awakening. It means that you think it's yours. So we use words like my, mine, or I, but these personal pronouns that we use because we are claiming it as ours. So the separate self, which is illusory, the sense of a separate self, so we'll just say the separate self that feels like it exists, that we think that we are, claims innocently, this is just what egoic consciousness is, the thoughts. So that's my thought, that's my sadness, that's my emotion, that's my sensation, that's my injury that I got in my knee. That's mine, I did that. So the claiming the ownership part, that's the bit we're interested in. That's the identification part. So with awakening, there is, it's really a process of unpacking which bit is true and real and which bit is illusory and identification. So when we're identifying, we're taking ownership unconsciously and saying, that's mine. This is my family. This is my body. This is my face. These are my thoughts. That my part is the identification part. That's the part we want to break. That's the illusory part. So the truth is that there is a body that has come into form. Yes, that is true. There are thoughts happening. Yes, that's true. There's emotions happening. Yes, that's true. But are they owned by anyone? Are they your thoughts? Is it your body? So if you can get that bit, you're getting very close to understanding really what this whole thing's about and what we're trying to do through the awakening process. So it's about pulling apart which bit is true and which bit is illusory. The illusory part is that anyone owns anything, that there is a separate self here that owns the physical body. And so the meditation today, I think, will be going in the direction, I never know until it happens, but I think it's going in the direction of body identification. So I hope that just gives everyone just enough, so we're all kind of on the same page here as we start out, but I'll be guiding us through it just so that the terminology and, but I think if everyone just starts, just because it's a very basic exercise, but that it kind of explains what I'm saying here. If everyone just looks at their hands just for a second. So this is a really good practice to do this. You could do it with any body part, but hands is quite accessible. What we're looking for is, do they feel like my hands? Or do they just look like hands? Or even, do they just look like shapes and colors? Now, this is the difference between identification with the hands, specifically, and just seeing what is real, what is there, which is that, I mean, ultimately, just we could say shapes and colors, but even that is to say too much, but just to try and communicate something. So just to point out the difference between identification with the hands versus just seeing hands. And so we can look at them, and it doesn't take that long usually just to notice that you can go from feeling quite identified with them, like these look very familiar, it feels personal, feels like they're mine. I feel like I own these. That would be identification with the hands. To just relaxing the attention a little bit and just getting a bit more curious, a bit more sort of open-minded and sort of looking without labeling and just seeing, like, what are these? Like as if you've never seen them before. Looking at all the weird lines and Almost like you're a child that's never seen hands before, or an alien that's never seen this before. So we sort of look at it a bit more like, I don't know what this is, in a more kind of open-minded way. This is how we start to go beyond the identification. That's just one exercise that can really help. And throughout the day, for you, just, I think body identification, some people are really in tune with, I feel identified with this body, like I feel like I am the body. And other people just don't really get that. They are identified with it, but they can't really access it. We're just wired differently. So some people can really see, yeah, I'm identified with thoughts, but I don't really think I'm identified with the body. We all are. We all start off as being identified with everything, and the awakening process breaks that. Yes, we have some areas that are stickier than others, like we might have more trouble breaking through identification with thoughts than the body or whatever. Yes, we are going to have different unfoldings, certainly, but we're all going to have some body identification at the start. So you can kind of assume, even if what I'm saying doesn't really make a lot of sense, or you feel like it doesn't apply to you, it probably does. It just might not be something that you've really thought about or accessed yet. So this exercise alone, just doing it throughout the day from time to time, and just going, do they feel like my hands? Or are they just hands? So hopefully that can give you just a bit of clarity about identification with the body, just so that we can get on with the meditation. So, all right, here we go. So everyone get in a comfortable position. Do your best to stay still. It really supports awakening. It supports accessing our essential nature, because one of our qualities is that we are still and unmovable. So it really acts as a portal to assist the process. That's why we do it, and why it's worked for thousands of years, because it really helps. So staying still in the body as much as possible, and only moving if you're in pain. Try and make that your commitment. Start to take some deep breaths. Start to feel into the body. Now you can have your eyes open, that's fine, but just focus on a fixed downward point. Can help. A lot of people do like it to stay awake and to stay more present. But it's not for everyone. So just see what works best for you, whether it's closing your eyes or focusing on a fixed point. And just start to feel how the energy starts to just slow down, starts to calm down. Might have felt like it was sort of like a swirling energy, like the wind before, and now it's all starting to settle down to a point of stillness. I find it's quite beneficial when we start a meditation just to check in where we're at. So this is not about changing anything. This is just seeing what is happening right now. So we can start with the body. Do a body scan, starting at the feet. Slowly working our way up through to the head. And we're just noticing sensations. Could be pain, might be very intense. Just be a little bit of tingling or numbness. No matter what it is, we're just noticing this is where the body is at. This is how the body feels right now. We scan our way through the body. This teaches us how to develop some body awareness that's crucial for awakening. And it also grounds us into the body, which is where awakening happens. Through these avatars, this is how truth is expressed. So we can't overlook the body element to awakening. It's crucial. Awakening is not just about accessing our essential nature, it's about bringing that truth into the body as an expression of the truth. So we want to feel into the body, noticing just what's happening right now. Try not to make up any stories about it. Just noticing the raw sensations that are there. And we have this wonderful ability to move our attention from one thing to the next. Now we just want to change our attention to focus on the emotional state that's currently here. This is developing emotional awareness, which is also crucial for awakening. So we're just seeing very simply, how do I feel right now? What emotions are here? How many different emotions can I feel that are already here? Even the subtle ones. Perhaps I feel a little bit of anticipation, nervous energy, some restlessness. Perhaps there's a very intense emotion, there's some grief there, maybe you're going through something quite difficult at the moment. So this is not so much about processing or understanding or digging into it, this practice right now. We're checking in to see, how do I feel right now? I don't need to do anything about it. I'm just acknowledging this is how I feel. Feel sad, feel scared, feel happy, feel very peaceful. If you can really start to expand your emotional range, more subtle and complex emotions. Now we move the attention to the mind. We're just checking in. The mind busy, so quiet. Not trying to change anything, we're just noticing. Might be very stressed out. Maybe you've had a hard day at work. So we're just acknowledging this is where the mind is at right now. It's busy. That's okay. It's not a problem. I feel you have no control over it. It's just running from one direction to the next. We're not making it wrong. We're just acknowledging this is where I'm at right now. It'll calm down. And so we now spread our attention across the body where we started, the emotional state, the mental state. Just start to feel in, this is how I feel right now, overall. This is what is. You don't need to make it right or wrong or good or bad. It's just what is. This is where I'm at. This is what I'm experiencing right now. And that's okay. Now start to bring your attention to the breath. Nice big breaths coming in and out. Very beneficial meditation in itself. But today we're working on body identification. So we'll start with the breath. Does this breath feel like my breath? My lungs, my belly rising up and down. Is it my breath? Or is there just breathing? See if you can notice the difference. It's okay if you can't. This is the inquiry. This is the exploration. Identification with the breath means to think that it is your breath. The separate self is taking ownership of the breath. This is my breath. These are my lungs. So we're just inquiring, is that actually true? Or is there just breath? Is there just breathing? We get to see that even something as simple as breathing, the separate self has taken ownership of. That's okay. It's not wrong. It's just what happens. It's innocent, but we do need to break it. All identification during the awakening process. Just because it's illusory. Anything that's not real is seen through. So what is true is that there is breathing happening. We can very much see in our own experience, breathing is happening automatically. In and out. The inquiry is it my breath? Or is there just breathing? Now choose a sensation in the body. Pick one that feels very much identified, one that you think, this is mine. Often this is pain. If we've had pain in a certain area of the body for a very long time, it can be quite identified with that sensation. Might be from an injury or ongoing illness. Choose something in the body that really stands out, that you feel like is yours. Focus your attention on that sensation. It might be quite painful. Just really feel into it. Being very familiar with it. Now we're just trying to pull apart what's true from what's illusory. Is it true that this is my pain or my sensation? It could even be an area of the body, my knee, my shoulder. Now, yes, it can feel very familiar, like many years of feeling this sensation and identifying with it over and over again, unconsciously, thinking this is mine, this is mine. But is it really? This is the inquiry. So yes, there is a sensation there that might be quite intense, no doubt. That is what is true. There is a sensation. We're not denying that. But is it your sensation? Is it your injury? Is it your illness? Is it your body part? See if you can tell the difference. And we're trying to drop the identification part and just feel the sensation on its own. Just feeling pure sensation directly. This might make it even more intense. Can you feel that sensation without claiming it as your own? You might even feel a bit of fear in this process. Anytime we let go of identification, it can be scary. Might not be. It's okay if it is. It's natural. Might be a bit disorientating. It's natural as well. Might hear the mind really trying to fight back. No, it is mine. I had that accident. That's when it happened. Tries to tell you the story of it. It can happen. We're exploring what would it feel like just to go beyond that. Just feel the sensation directly. Now start to notice another sensation, whatever your attention gets brought to. Just feeling it without any stories. Imagine if the mind didn't exist, that you couldn't think. All you could do is just feel this sensation. Couldn't create a story about it. Couldn't talk about the past of when it started or how long you think it's going to go for. All you can do is just be present and feel it right now. See if you can access that. You can start to spread your awareness to multiple sensations in the body, if that feels right for you, or you can stay with one at a time. We're moving from sensation to sensation, or just feeling the body sensations directly, without a story, without memory. This is what it means to be disidentified with the body sensations. So the truth is that yes, there are sensations there because there's a body there. And so there will always be sensations until the body's not there. But are they your sensations? Is it your pain? That is the inquiry. But can we allow the sensations to be there without claiming ownership of them? You might start to notice that when we do a practice like this, that where the sensations are located starts to get a little hazy. Once we start to take the mind out of it, and the mind stops mapping where the sensation is, that's my knee pain, that's tingling in my elbow. Once we start going beyond that through experiencing the sensations directly, you may notice that you start to lose a sense of where the sensations are. It's okay if that doesn't happen for you, but you may notice this. This is a natural part of this practice. Just becomes a movement within consciousness, an expression of consciousness. I notice it's constantly moving and shifting. This is impermanence. Nothing ever stays the same. It's a constant fluctuation of energy. Just see if you can feel into the boundary of the body. What keeps us from being the inside of the body versus the outside of the body? Feel into that boundary. See if it's really there in your own direct experience. What happens to the boundary when we feel into it and explore if it's really there? Is it true that these sensations are located inside of that boundary? Or are they just happening with no set locality? See if you can find out for yourself. If it doesn't make sense, that's okay. Just see what feels true for you. We're exploring, are the sensations inside of the body? During this meditation, it's up to you. You can explore a specific sensation, or the breath, or a body part. See if you can see the difference between identification with that sensation and just pure feeling the sensation, just directly. We can explore all the body sensations as a whole, if that feels right for you. For some of us, it's not a particular sensation that feels like me, but just the totality of sensations feels like me. That is still illusory. We can still inquire into that. We all experience this slightly differently, so I'm going to give you different examples and just intuit what's the best inquiry for you, where you're identified, how you're hooked up. It might be that it feels like everything that's inside of the skin feels like me. That's how I know myself, as being inside of the skin. And if that's the case, you can see if there really is a boundary between inside and outside. Look for it yourself. Can you feel it? There is a body here, and the body is a sensing machine. And the body will remain during awakening until it dies, and sensing will remain. What drops away is the identification. That is what is the illusion. That there is a separate self that owns the body. The truth is, there is a body, there is sensations, but there is no one to claim ownership. That is the illusion. And this can be a very sticky one to break. It can take quite a lot of work to break this one, body identification. Because the body feels so much like us. It's all we've known, being the body. And so through inquiry work, we just break the belief that it is my body. That's what we're doing. The reality is there is a body, but it's not my body, because there is no one here to take ownership. That is the illusion. That's the bit that we want to see is illusory. And often we need to break this step by step, one sensation at a time. We can also ask ourselves, might resonate with some of you, take it or leave it. Did I still exist before this body came into form? Is my existence dependent on being this body? Or did I exist before this body? And what about when this body is dead? Will I exist then? Is my existence dependent on this body? Or do I exist regardless of this body? And if you happen to be one of the lucky ones that can see your past lives, it's okay if you can't. But if you can, try to remember how you were in a different body then. That you still existed, even though you were in a different body. That is evidence right there to show that your existence is not dependent on your current physical form. So this just applies if you can access your past lives. If you can't, it's okay. But if you can, this is very useful for breaking body identification. You can see it doesn't matter what body I'm in. Bodies change. I still exist. I still remain the same, regardless of whether I'm in this body or that, or in no body. My existence is not dependent upon this physical form. And one day this body will die, but what I am will go on, as I always have, because I am eternal. I can't actually die. The body can, and the body will. But that does not change any part of me who I truly am. Life and death doesn't affect me. I come into form and go out of form. What I've always done. When I'm in form as a human, I forget who I am. That's all that's happened here. Just forgotten. And now we're remembering. We call that spiritual awakening. And this body is a tool that we use to experience this, to experience ourselves as people, to experience this illusion. We use these bodies. We use these bodies to forget and to remember.